Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about why the KF94 mask from Korea is still the best on the market, and it's even gotten better. So some of you may have just given up on wearing masks altogether, depending on what part of the world you're from. But here in Korea, at least right now, still, we have to wear masks indoors in public places. We're allowed now to walk around outside without our masks, but most people are wearing their masks. Now, this is a review of the KF94 mask, and in particular, one by Puremate. And yes, this is my first sponsored video, but really I want to go into why it's so much different to wear the KF94 mask, no matter where it comes, but this is a particularly good one, and not just saying that because it's sponsored, but the quality is actually pretty good. We'll get into it. But I think a lot of people who were uncomfortable with masks or still are kind of against it is because you're using like a crappy mask, or you're so obsessed with N95, which is essentially like either surgical or made for construction, so it's really uncomfortable, or you want KN95, which is essentially from China, and not to diss on them too much, but you can't always trust the quality. Some of them are counterfeit, and some of them use materials and chemicals like even formaldehyde. And so it's an unpleasant experience, I understand. And just because 94 is one number less than 95, people are just like kind of overlooking the KF9. I don't know why exactly, but my theory is that people kind of just like overlook Korea in a general, you know, except for, you know, talking about K-pop or whatever, and just like recently. And 94, I think people are just like, oh, well, 95 is better, so we'll just not even think about 94. That is not the right way, I think, to go about it, because unless you are hermetically sealing this mask, if it's an N95 or KN95, and if you pass what is called the saccharin smell test, which is basically like, you know, NutraSweet that they spray in the air, and if you can still smell it, then you have not hermetically sealed it on tight enough. And so for normal people, the effectiveness of a mask is going to be how long you actually wear it, how much you actually give yourself the opportunity to protect yourself, not just throw it off all the time because you know you can't handle it. That's the reason why I think in Korea people just wear their masks, because it's not that burdensome, because we've got the good masks. And the masks like these were expensive. I mean, even in Korea we were paying like 2,500 won to 3,000 won each, like when there was like a real supply shortage, and you know, Miss Corona was just, you know, coming around the first, you know, on her first leg of the trip. And then now I think even like the best ones are like 30 cents. So the price has gotten, so that's why like you can just kind of like use one a day and throw it away, use one a day and throw it away. And we have a very casual attitude about just getting the freshest ones and not using them for more than 2 days, I would say. In America, I think it's different. Even the same product, you know, it can go up to maybe about 75 cents to $1, and then the ones with the celebrities on the package will probably be like $1.50 each. But you can get a really good mask for like about 80 cents each, and you know, wear it a few days. Now the thing is that when the fibers break down, that's when the numbers start going down. So again, it makes no difference. You got an N95 or KN95 and you've been using that thing for a whole week, it's probably at like KN20, you know, basically like your breath moisture starts to break down the fibers, and then the more the fibers are broken down, the basically like the less protection it offers, although so much more protection than those ridiculous masks people were making out of t-shirts or something. Now what you get from Korea is an agency specialized in approving the certification. And I know we talk a lot about corruption and stuff like this on this channel, but I think this is one area, like, you know, when Korean people get rid of corruption and they let like their hard work and ingenuity and the free market take reign, like good stuff happens. And I think in this case, like they weren't going to mess around with like too much corruption. Or I would say like maybe it's a perfect marriage where like maybe you hand a little bit to the side and then, you know, you maybe you move further in line. But in general, I would say this is a really good way to trust that if you are getting the genuine products made in Korea, not just like sometimes people sell these packages and put in like kind of fake ones, but I think that's happening a lot less. Now this is from Puremate and it's a small medium-sized company here in Korea, but wow, like they have really like amped up the packaging to make it really clear what you're getting. Like I haven't seen like this much detailing on packaging ever. And they say that basically there's 3 languages that they're operating with, English, Korean, and German. So some of your packages, you know, like for these kids masks, like this is the Korean version. Even the Korean version will have a lot of English on it, as you can see, like there's English and Korean, but this is the German version. So I guess they're like entering the German market, really cute. And so you can get, you know, it's a little bit random. Now let's just look, because before it was kind of crazy. Like you literally had just one size and then maybe a kid size. So this is the one that is called the Clean Kinder Masks, and I'm going to put it on just to show you like what the size of, oh my god, it's so small, so cute. But I could even really use this, and you know, like those horrible N95 masks that are used in construction and it's like a circle, that N95 is smaller than this. This, I would say, is much more comfortable than that ridiculous N95 mask that you're supposed to use only like when you're doing construction. And this is for people, little people in kindergarten, and still more comfortable. All right, let's take a look at this one because I think it comes in a cute design. See, it has a little bunny, and a cat. So cute. And you know, like these masks, like you can tell the quality. The material is much more solid but flexible, and it just feels good. Like it feels luxurious. I'll just say it just feels luxurious, even though, you know, it's 85 cents, but it is a small luxury if you're going to be, you know, using these like one a day. But it feels good. All right, so that's a cute little, like, you know, kids one. And so speaking of the materials, what I noticed is that this has 4 layers. Most of the masks will have 3 layers. And that apparently is supposed to make a difference because there's gonna be a barrier in there that holds the shape of the mask. If you've seen, like, now this is what I was using before they sent it to me, because you know I like a good bargain, and this is from Coupang, and like it's like 100 masks in here, and you know it's like really cheap. But I was like, even Coupang stuff is really good. So this is the Coupang mask, and I want to compare it to the Puremate mask, and we're gonna even chop into it and see like what the difference is between 3 and 4 layers. Now, let's see. When we have, I'm only going to focus on the black color because I've already shown you the white color, and there is large and medium and small. So I've been wearing the large. So let's compare, and I think this is officially large, but they don't really have many sizes in the coupon. It's just like kind of take it or leave it. So this is the Puremate, and this is the Coupang mask. They look the same, but they already feel a little bit different. This one does feel like it is more solidly constructed, and see in here, it feels soft to the touch. In the Coupang mask, it feels a little bit like slippery, as if like, you know, like a tent, you know, like a nylon tent. It kind of has a nylonish feeling. Now, this is by no means a bad mask. I've really liked using it, but now after using this, I'd rather have this feeling on my face where it's a lot smoother. And so this is the big one. It basically will cover almost everything, and I like it, and it kind of has a lot of room so that you can breathe. The great thing about this is that you can actually even like exercise in it, and so I went to the gym and I tried it out because I wanted to see how well it worked. And usually when you go to the gym, in the past, I did not want to wear KF94s because the filtration was so strong that it was harder to breathe. And that's why in Korea, you know, we have KF80, so it's 80% filtration instead of 94. And so the lower the number goes, the more porous the mask is, so things pass through. 80 will also block the aerosol, kind of like your breath. But then we also have KF80, which is about 50% filtration, and that will filter out droplets, but not aerosolized. So if I sprayed like, you know, perfume or something, that is like aerosolized after the like the part that is not like liquefied. And so those are much more, you know, preferable for some sort of like physical exertion. But when I wore the KF94 in the gym, like it was fine. And I was like surprised. I was like, oh, the technology is getting better, so maybe we don't even need a KF80, KF880 or AD, because the filtration has gotten so well with the KF94. Now, the other way to really test it is, so this is the medium white. Oh yeah, I was wearing medium white. So this is the difference in the large and then the medium. Let me try to see if you can kind of tell like this. They're almost the same size, I think. But see, this one goes down a little bit lower on the chin. And so medium, I think, is a little bit more fashionable because it shows more of your face. So let me try the medium in black and also show you like the difference in size. It is a little bit smaller, a touch smaller. So I think this is better for like showing your face if this is like your, you know, your size. It's not like too big. And then here is the small. We're gonna get back to the test, but I just wanted to show you the sizes first. Let's get that out of the way. This is almost as if it's the kid size, but the kid size officially is extra small. Now this I think is a little bit too small for me. This might be good for a teenager or like a young woman or smaller woman. Now while we're at it, before we get to the water test, I want to show you the mask too, like the outside, the fabric slicer, it has the stamp of Puremate and made in Korea. The Coupang mask doesn't. Now let's look at the stitching even. The stitching is a little bit different. So see how like the Coupang looks like they're using much larger stitches, and this one is smaller, more refined stitches. So really cool. Anyhow, so I wanted to show you the water test because the mask essentially is supposed to allow air to go back and forth, but not any particles, and especially moisturized particles. So it seems kind of like, how is this possible? This is the water test that I've seen on, and you know, this is not a magic trick. I am pouring water in here, as you can see on the other angle. I'm pouring water in this mask, and nothing falls through. That's the magic of the mask. Essentially, it's like, how is that possible? You try to do with this with, like, you know, one of your t-shirt masks, the water falls right through. That means everything's going through it. So this basically means no moisture is coming through, but the air can go back and forth. So I'm gonna have to dump this in this bucket. And this was the second time before I started this video. I wanted to test it out and see if it really works. So this is the second time that I put the water. Look, it's can't feel any water on this. So I wanted to see if it would work. And this is the second time that I have done this water thing, and it still does not leak. That is quite amazing. I'm sure the coupon one would also do the same. So now, what we want to see is the inside, and to make it clear that is there a difference with that extra layer. Which one was the large one? I want to do. Oh, right. Let's kind of like see the See, it's almost the same. Like large. This is the coupon. This is the coupon. No, this is the coupon. This is the coupon mask, and then this is the Puremate mask. See, they're like almost the same size. Now, let's look into it. So first, I'm going to cut the Puremate mask. I know this is so sacrilegious. I was just like, oh my god, what is this possible? Now, what you can see is that we have supposed to have 4 layers. Here's one. Here is 2. This one is the special layer. I don't know if I can take it out. See, this layer is not in a lot of the other masks. This layer is supposed to, and I'm surprised even they added a layer and it was more breathable. This layer is supposed to hold the mask in shape a lot more. So even if you're running and the wind is blowing, it's not going to get in the way of your breathing. It's gonna keep it structurally solid. Also, I think it looks a little bit more fashionable because it's not like, you know, you like every time you're breathing in and out, it doesn't go like this, and you know. So that's the second layer, and then we had the third layer, and third layer and fourth layer. So this, see, is the separate layers. So 4 layers in this one. Now let's take a look at the coupon mask. Oh, Coupang is essentially like our Amazon, and so this is like their house brand. So you know, like sometimes you go to Costco and you have the Kirkland brand, and it's, you know, very good stuff and a lot cheaper. And so this is that version. Now here's the first layer, second layer, and third layer. And you see how this layer is so thin, and it's kind of like slippery. I've used one of the Kleenex masks before, the Kimberly-Clark, and I thought I was going to suffocate because of this like plastic barrier. You have to make it correct, otherwise it's just really hard to breathe. And so I understand when people are just like, they don't want to wear a mask because you're wearing crappy masks. But if you wear like a nice mask that's been well designed, well researched, well developed, and given that seal of approval by the Korean FDA, well, you can just wear this all day and it's no problem. I think this one was the medium. So the medium one, I think is just depending on the size of your face, just try them all out, you know, because like I said, you could even go around using the child mask and it would still be more comfortable than that horrible N95 construction mask. That I don't even know how people do. Okay guys, so what do you think? I mean, these masks are exactly what you need if you are now gonna go travel and take an airplane ride, especially if it's gonna be across the oceans and you're just like, how am I gonna wear a mask for like 12 hours? Well, and have a high filtration mask, you know, that's gonna filter out a lot of most of any kind of dangerous substances, then you just need the KF94 masks. And It's hard to choose out there with so many different ones, but this one is the Puremate, and I'm telling you guys, this is a lot more breathable than I was expecting, and it's 94% filtration. Of course, it always depends on how well you seal yourself, and sometimes you can get a clip to clip the back so that it's really tight, because that's essentially what it is. Like, you can't let any air come in and out from the edges. And then you start to get to the 94. If you're not doing that, it doesn't matter if it's 94 or 95. And especially if you're using that 95 like for more than a day, then there's no point because the numbers drop. Essentially, the numbers are guaranteed for like one surgery, which is about like maybe 3 hours. And that's the gold standard of like when you say like this is this amount of filtration. Other than that, it really is more about like you're just trying to reduce your risk, and you reduce your risk by wearing it as often and as long as possible, and you can only do that if you're comfortable, and this makes it really comfortable and fashionable. I personally like the black ones a lot. But so they have, you know, black or white, small, medium, large. It's usually like not, I don't see a mask company like that takes this much kind of, I think, customer feedback and puts all of the information out there for, you know, you to clearly understand. And I mean, it hits all of the right notes. It's very good quality, and it's very comfortable on your skin, and also it's very easy to breathe in. I'm gonna put a link below. Yes, this was a sponsored video, my first sponsored video. Thank you guys for, I guess, being so communicative and active on this channel that I guess, you know, this company wanted me to reach you guys, and they want to make their best case for this mask, but I think it speaks for itself. All right, guys. Well, what kind of masks do you guys use, and how? I'm really curious. How often do you change your masks, and is it just because you feel like you just use it, or because it's expensive? Like I said, it's much more expensive in the United States and around the world than it is here in Korea, because you know we got so much production now. Everybody's making masks, and so we're very lucky to have such great masks and have them be so accessible to us. I mean, seriously, look, I got a box. I had a box of 100. And so, but I encourage you, whenever you want to feel like you want to reduce your risk, just find a good mask, and these are available online. And so I'll put a link below, and so I'll just leave it there. All right, guys, take care, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Tune in next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Love you.